Yo, what's up? This is Quivic and Jay from Drive Family. And, like everyone in Drive Family pretty much produces, but I guess you can call Jay like the main producer. Right now what we're going to do is pretty much show you like the whole process of making a beat before we actually lay down the track. The two main programs we use, I guess, Acid Pro and Fruity Loops. We just find the right sample, put it in Acid Pro, cut it out. I think Jay can explain that more.
True. With this first beat that we did, it was first song that we did with me, Quivic, and our boy Tim. It was a track that, I made it the way I usually make beats. I'll hear something in a song or whatever on the radio. I won't even know what song it is half the time, but I hear a little something, it just sparks my imagination. So like, what happened with this particular one was I heard a Jay-Z sample, and it just I just knew I could take that and flip it into something completely different. So first thing I did, and what I always do, is I'll take the sample, cut it up in Acid Pro, pick out the pieces I want, and chop it back together however I want to make my own little melody.
That's the important thing, is that when you sample, you gotta make sure you really can't tell where the sample's from. We try to keep our samples under 2 seconds. Actually, we always do, just so you really can't tell.
And the main point is that you're using the sample to convey your own idea, not that you're conveying their idea through your beat. So, anyway, like I said, I chopped the beat up in Acid Pro, take out the little tiny clip, one little hit, the orchestra that I wanted to make my own little new melody in Fruity Loops.
And the whole sample is like half a second long.
Then, next thing what I'll do is I bring the sample into Fruity Loops so I can start manipulating it and doing what I gotta do.
Fruity Loops, we've been using this for years. Like, I know it's like a real cheap program or whatever, but it works. We just use our own sounds. We don't use Fruity Loop sounds because they're pretty much garbage. We just use our own. We also sample live instruments because Austin and Aaron and Drive Family, they play guitar, keyboard, pretty much everything. So we sample all that too.
Yeah, basically Fruity Loops is just what puts our stuff into a format.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when I put this particular sample first, and what I did was I took the sample, and like I said, I made my own melody out of it. So it kind of started out with something like this. You see, I used the sample, but it sounds nothing like the original song already. So first I take that and I see what I can craft around that to make it something completely different. Which the next thing I did was I came up with a bass line, and then on top of that I came up with a triangle melody. So I'm going to put both of those in the beat and see how you watch it change even more.
Check that out.
Here's the bass line. See, now here's the triangle melody. Now here's all three put together, and you'll be able to see how the whole melody has now changed. There. Now, on top of that, those are the things that I usually worry about first. Some people, even Quivic or Austin or some other people in the group, a lot of times will also make drums first sometimes, and then try to make a melody or write a melody that'll go over top of that. But usually in my case, I go melody first because I just know drums like the back of my hand, I feel like already, because like I said, I've been the one doing it the longest. So it's I don't even really think about drums anymore. They're just in my head. I already know the kind of drums I'm going to put over things when I sample them. So instead, I'm worried about coming up with the hot samples first. So that's what I did here. And next I'll show you is how we'll come up with some drums. First, I always start with kicks and snares. That's just the main thing. That's the boom bap. That's what hip hop's always been about. If you don't got hot kicks and snares, your beat is whack, it's trash. So this is what I flipped with some drums on this.
Shit's hot. See, I usually start with the kicks and snares. Actually, sometimes even the hat. And if I find a good sample, I might even put that and then try to find. I just put just a simple hat, and then try to find the right tempo to get the sample on beat. But yeah, like Jay said, everyone does it differently.
So anyways, that's how I usually start out. I come up with a basic beat. Then the next thing I try to do is come up with some rolls, like ways for the beat to start over after a measure of like a 4-bar measure or whatever, because you want to keep the beat interesting throughout the song. You don't want to just have a simple beat the whole time.
Right.
So the next thing I'll do is I'll try to switch the melody and the drums. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'll show you the finished product of a roll after I've changed the melody and the drums to keep it interesting. See, now the other thing you want to do, or at least that we do, is you have to make your chorus beat, at least most of the time. I mean, every song has an exception, but most of the time you want to make the chorus beat, once again, different to keep it interesting in the song. You either want to completely add more things, or you want to make it simpler. In this case, the beat gets more hype in the chorus. There adds a little bit extra instruments, and it just gets really hype, because the final product of this song was like, the energy of it was through the roof, so that's what I felt like I had to do with the beat. So, once again, not going to go through every little step, but here's the chorus that I came up with with this.
This shit was hot when I first heard it. Like, he sent me this beat. The hook was definitely what caught my eye. Like, I wanted to write this verse right away. I literally did write it on the way home from someplace. I was writing in the car. Like, that's how hype I was about this beat.
Yeah, and that's the type of beat that you know when you made it, you know, like how he wrote right when he went home. If the beat strikes you like that, then you know it's going to be a hot song, and that's like usually how it is. We make a lot of beats. We make a lot of beats that are throwaways, but every time one comes out like that, then you know that's a keeper, and you know that song's going to be awesome. So that's just how it goes. I mean, like I said, this is the process we go through every time we make a beat. It's a little different. Everybody does it a little differently, but this is just my style, and I wanted to show it off because every time I tell people I make music, they ask me how I do it, so just figured I'd give the fans a little something to check out.
Yeah.
Alright, man. So we'll catch you guys later. I'm sure we'll be posting a lot more videos like this lately. Just keep it posted here with Drive Fam. Check us out, support us.
Yo, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. Who the fuck are you? I'm the artist topping charts and making parts of verses in the songs, and I rehearse. I'm never wrong, but I get stronger. Making martyrs die for me, cause God ain't worth it. If the picture's worth 1,000 words, I'm fucking picture perfect. Every verse is laced with words to tie your tongues, but twist them first. Make Adam's apples fucking burst, your throat will hurt. You need something to quench your thirst, cause you've been sweating, getting nervous when I spit. Make you throw away your shit and grab a pen and start again. Drinking Miller Lite every night when I write, get so excited. Wear the text off the keys on my keyboard while I'm writing, typing. Wiping tears off opponent's face when I battle. Their mic should just be a rattle so they can shake it to make them look like less of a coward. It's like I'm battery powered, it energizes my choice. I'm like a lifter on boards.